Hey, this is DecoyNoise, and today me and you are going to cover another Am I the Antagonist thread in Am I the Antagonist for asking my friend's girlfriend why she would date my friend since he's overweight, short, and unattractive? No offense. So as always, after we read the story, we'll take it over to Decoy Court where I'll give you my knee-jerk reaction. I'll cover some of those top comments and those controversial comments, and the best comment on the video itself will get pinned to the top and earn that Decoy Koi coin, whatever it may be worth sometime. So let's go ahead and read what OP had to say. So they write, just to make things clear, I do not have any feelings for this girl, nor do I have anything against my friend. I mean, we're friends obviously, so I obviously don't. I was just curious why she would date him considering all the negative aspects he has, and also because I'm really worried about him, which I'll mention in the post. So my friend and this girl, both 17, were secretly dating for 4 months and revealed it to us not too long ago. I was legit shocked that my friend managed to get a girlfriend, especially a girl like this one who honestly is hot as heck. Why? Well, no offense to him, but he's short, 173 centimeters to 5'8", unattractive, he has acne all over his face, and is slightly overweight, shy to talk to girls, etc. So I was curious how he managed to get her. I felt like it was inappropriate to ask her a question like that, but curiosity got the best of me. Well, at first she asked me why I'd ask that, and when I told her the reason, she lost her crap. She told me he is in no way short. I looked at the average human height by country, and he is. Or unattractive. Meh, I guess looks are subjective, so whatever. And then it's not okay for me to be asking such questions. I was preparing to end this conversation with her, then she threatened me that she is going to tell my friend about the conversation we had, as she doesn't want her boyfriend to be the next to toxic people. What the heck? She's overacting, right? I just asked a question. I told her she should cool the F down, which ended up making her angrier, and then I told her that he will not believe her as she has no proof, unless she somehow stumbles across this post, which is highly unlikely if it won't gain traction. And that he would believe a friend of 2 years over a girlfriend of 4 months. Also, just to make things clear, I am not scared that he will do something to me. I am bigger and stronger anyways, but I don't want our friendship to end because something silly like this. Hold up, do not comment yet. Before you guys scream at me that I'm a big antagonist, I want to let you guys know that the only good aspect he has is his parents are rich, and I'm worried that he's getting used by this girl, most likely. I am honestly doing this for him because I am worried about him. Okay, now you can judge. Edit. What the heck, mods? Suspended me for defending myself? These people were assuming I was jealous and I had to explain why I wasn't. I did not deserve a suspension, and I unfollowed this subreddit on this account and my main account. Edit toilet paper and yikes award? How old are you guys? The only yikes here is the amount of hate comments I got. Anyways, I'm really busy today, but I'll continue to read the comments now. So like I said, we'll take it to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction as to who's the antagonist or just some uneducated opinion I'm going to give you right now. But let's go ahead and say, like, you know, at the very beginning of this, Exhibit A is him saying, I'm not attracted to this girl, I don't dislike my friend, but here's the many ways why I think this girl is super hot, and here's the many ways that I don't think my friend deserves her, and here's some empirical data to support my claim. Like, shut up, dude. Like, you like this girl. Like, if she didn't come up on your radar for, like, attractiveness, you wouldn't have taken the time out of your day to measure your guy friend. Like, what did he do to measure his guy friend? Like, either, like, took a picture of him and compared his height to the doorknob and measured the hypotenuse divided by the standard deviation beside the local median of the population. Like, shut up. Like, your ability to cover up your infatuation with this girl is as bad as my misunderstanding of, like, simple math terms. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I mean, moving on to Exhibit B, which is, you know, she immediately started labeling him as a toxic person, and imagine how, like, you know, I imagine if there was, like, more of a how inferior you labeled your friend to be, like, yes, you're gonna be a toxic person. Like, you know, if I'm dating a girl I like, and one of my other, like, friends that is a girl comes up to me and says, you know, how statistically unattractive my girlfriend is, of course I'm gonna cut that person off and say, like, you know, I don't want that toxicity in my life. I see what he's trying to, like, you know, get at, where it's like, you know, oh, the boyfriend's a cash cow and she doesn't want me to cut them off and, like, you know, drive a wedge between the two of them. It's like, no, it's like, you're actually a toxic person. The idea that it's, you know, he's writing, don't worry, I'm not worried, I'm bigger and stronger anyways, that's the telltale sign of someone being, you know, they're not trying to convince us of the situation. He's trying to convince himself that, like, you know, he's going to be okay. Like, I've never seen like a Division I super athlete tell me, like, yo, back up, Decoy, I'm bigger and stronger than you. It's just inferred. Like, I just shut my mouth. Or actually, it's the inverse. Whenever I see, like, someone that's like 6'8" and super jacked coming in the gym, like, I'll mutter under my breath, like, looking at the guy to my friend, like, yeah, back up, keep walking, punk ass. Like, I'll just do that knowing that even if they heard me, it's not a legitimate threat. Like, if anything, he'd approach me and be like, hey there, little fella, like, so you're a Pikachu, right? Like, there's no threat to that. But I mean, okay, back to the story is, nobody not afraid needs to take the time to reassure themselves to strangers online that they're not in danger. The idea that he got angry about, you know, getting kicked out of the thread and saying, I'm unfollowing this subreddit, is like the guy that's at the restaurant that's like yelling at the cashier and the cook, like, I'm never coming back to this establishment again. Like, no, that's not a sort of, like, that's not a punishment. Everybody's just getting what they want. So as always, I just want to judge OP in this situation. Of course you're the antagonist, you know, like, you know, the lesson should be learned. If he's genuinely not into this girl, he wouldn't spend all his free time wondering how the friend got him, and then, you know, trying to measure his attributes against his friend's attributes, and like saying, oh, I'm not jealous of the situation, I'm just looking out for my friend's money. Like, there's nothing in here that's saying that she's spending his money. So I'm guessing if there was, he put it in the story to bolster his argument, but since it's not here, it's probably not happening. And the idea that, you know, maybe OP can learn something about there being more to relationships than just what Instagram can show you. You know, plenty of gorgeous men lose women's interest as soon as they open their mouth, and plenty of weird looking dudes can give you like exhilarating feelings just because they're an amazing person. Like, you don't date somebody because their social media feed, you date the person because they're a complete person. But, you know, that's my opinion. That's what I'm pulling away from it. Pause the video, earn yourself that Decoy coin down below by giving me your feedback before we see the top comments or the controversial comments, and then maybe tell me what you kind of your different perspective after we saw the top and controversial comments, because oftentimes I'll have a strong opinion about what's going on in the story, then, you know, immediately change my mind after I've kind of read a couple top comments. So I mean, that's always there. But looks like they lock the post because everybody's just being mean to OP. But let's go ahead and read the next reply, the top reply, which is, they quote, the only good aspect is he has his parents that are rich. So the next reply is, are you guys really friends? Why would you say this? You're the antagonist. That's the thing, is like, even if I had a friend that was just, you know, conventionally unattractive but really wealthy, but still got girls and still, like, you know, had other fun things about him, if I was constantly berating him to his girlfriends or to strangers online, would we even really be friends? Or would I just see him, like, you know, it's one of those, is he projecting his inner feelings towards it, where he's using his friend for money, and it's like, whoa, you don't use him, only I use him. But I mean, let's go ahead and read a reply to that, which is, it's always sad when we get posts like these where OP is more of a monumental antagonist, but it's clear they will never see themselves as one. Not only is he obviously jealous of his friend, but he's probably a toxic leech on this life for a while. Which is true, maybe he's outing himself. You know, oftentimes when you criticize somebody, you're just projecting something from yourself, which I'm kind of trying to walk back. So what was I projecting on this guy right now? Or projecting being jealous of other people. But I mean, yeah, he's probably projecting his own feelings. But we'll go ahead and read that next top reply, which is, you're the antagonist 100%. You literally have no redeeming aspects in this story. I guess what you always want to give everybody their fair shake in these situations, and what would be the redeeming quality is, I guess he's willing to stand up for his friend even if he knows it'll make him the bad guy. I mean, I'd hope that I'd have a guy friend that would go up to bat for me, but not in the way like this where he's just like, yo, Decoy, he's short, he's skinny, he's weak, you know, all that stuff. I was like, no, like, I wouldn't want that. So I guess, no, I don't want him as a friend. So he has no redeeming aspects in the story. So and the next reply to that was, exactly this. Effing hilarious when I got to the hold on, don't comment yet part. Like, you made it so much worse. This is some, okay, so he's trying to say that he's a terrible person. I'm not trying to go down the path where you're labeling somebody something because they have one aspect of themselves that isn't bad. So, okay, so the next top reply is, okay, I read it twice, in fact. You're the antagonist. Your curiosity got the better of you. Not really a good excuse when you know perfectly well that what you said is just plain rude. How can you say those things about your own friend and think that you're not the antagonist? Not to mention your comments weren't even necessary. You didn't need to call him overweight, short, ugly. Your words are utterly uncalled for when all of you needed to do is state your curiosity and ask her why she liked him. Not only that you should be asking her that in the first place, given it's not your business. He's your friend, not your child. It's not your job to try to weasel into their relationship and find out her true motives. You're supposed to be there for him. That generally doesn't include trash talking him to his girlfriend behind his back. Edit. Also, not only was it crap for you to say all those things about him, but now you're making excuses for your behavior by claiming because the girl is most likely just with him because his only good trait is his parents' money. You can't even say for sure that she is. You're just adding insult to injury to the feelings on the list. So, okay. Trying to read that post, but I do understand the idea that it's like, you know, he he knew it was wrong, and then he just did it anyway. So it's like, yes, I'm the antagonist, but, you know, curiosity got the best of me. So you know you're the antagonist. Like, where's the even story in this situation where it's like he knew it was unnecessary? Like, saying the whole short, fat, overweight situation is almost just like projecting jealousy. Like, how come this guy can be short, fat, and ugly and still get this really attractive girl? Is it because it's money? It's because it's money. That's why I can't get a girl like this, because he doesn't want to feel inferior to his friend. That it's like, oh yeah, maybe his friend has a really good personality, really cool, like, you know, very self-assured and confident, and the money has nothing to do with it. I think if anything, it was just OP trying to pat himself on the back by saying, I'm not the reason for the reason that I can't get this girl. The money is the reason for the girl. So he was just trying to, like, you know, pat himself on the back, you know, comfort himself for being, I don't want to say a loser, but just, you know, being jealous of his buddy. But let's go ahead and read another reply of the on the off chance that this is not a troll post, you're the antagonist. Adding no offense doesn't mean that what you said wasn't offensive. She would be right to tell him, and you would be right to cut you out of his life. Or he would be right to cut you out of his life. Why are you even friends with someone you think so little of? He deserves better. And it was probably, as the thing is, like, he felt superior to his friends because he was the weaker, shorter, uglier version of himself. And he's like, oh, he just has some money, and all of a sudden his buddy isn't just the weaker, shorter, uglier version of himself. He's actually pretty baller. He actually got himself a pretty girlfriend. So all of a sudden the dynamic of the friendship wasn't like, oh yeah, I can look down on this guy. It's, hey, how come he's doing better than me? Let me try to stick it on something that is out of my power, so I don't have to actually look to myself for my flaws and see why I'm not doing as well as him. It's got to be the money, right? So as always, top comments are for perspective, controversial comments are sometimes the true gems of the story, but more oftentimes they're going to be for entertainment value. So let's go ahead and see the top controversial comment, which is not the antagonist for asking in general, but you're the antagonist for wording it the way you did. Instead of asking, yo, my friend is ugly as F, why are you going out with him? You should have just asked, so hey, why do you love him so much? What do you love so much about my friend here? If she's conning him, she'd have trouble coming up with anything sincere, plus you wouldn't be insulting your friend. Being worried that your friend might be hurt by her is a good first step, so that's something. But if I were you, I'd choose my wording more carefully next time, because this time it's on you, buddy. Unfortunately, I've been in your friend's position. My fiance's sister, who is afraid of mine, basically asked the same thing to my fiance when we first hooked up. She legit called me ugly behind my back, which was quite hurtful, even though her heart was in the right place. Consider it as a lesson intact for the future. Hope it works out for you. So here's the thing, is this guy got a lot of downvotes because it's a controversial opinion, but he's a guy that's very close to the situation, that's actually been on the other side of this, where it's like, hey, I've been called ugly behind my back, it hurt, but actually this person was grateful that his cousin would go up to bat for him, and maybe the friend would be grateful that OP's willing to kind of say something a little bit controversial, a little bit, you know, harsh, just to kind of get to the bottom of things. So maybe he genuinely is going up to bat. He's just terrible with words and doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut about, like, you know, looking down on him. Granted, I personally believe the other side of it, where he's just jealous of his friend, but maybe it is a situation where he's genuinely concerned for it. He just sucks at talking, and it sucks at illustrating himself in the right way. But let's go ahead and read the next reply, which is upvoting this so this gains traction, so, and she sees it. I mean, maybe not. He used a throwaway and deleted his account, but even if she does see it, then she's already ratting him out to the friend anyway, so it's not going to change anything. So let's go ahead and read the next reply, which is lots of downvotes, is FYI, you'll never get the people here to admit that gold diggers are a real thing. And you know what, that's true, gold diggers are a real thing, and you've seen it, and it's like, you know, a sad situation that you come across. But oftentimes when you have a friend that's being taken advantage of, taken to the bank, being used as a personal ATM, if they're in love, you really can't do anything to drive the wedge between them and the person that's taking advantage of them. All you can do as a true friend is say, you know, like, hey man, I'm here for you. Whatever happens, you know, good or bad, you know, just protect yourself, let them go through it, and be there to pick up the pieces. If you ever see somebody being taken advantage of, you can give them subtle nudges to say, like, hey, are you sure this is for the best? Are they really taking advantage of you? But you don't push too hard. You don't go behind their back and try to, like, bad talk them to their girlfriend or whatever, because, you know, if you ever try to drive the wedge and they're still deeply in love or infatuated in that very beginning phase, they're always going to paint you as a bad guy. Then they won't ever go to you when things are going bad. They'll, like, you know, you just want to be, I sad to say, the bigger person in that situation, where when it does go bad, they'll come to you. But let's go ahead and read another controversial reply, which is just, you know, all these just small posts. So the next one is, it's amazing that a post overtly fake as this one, literally as this post won't go anywhere, so she won't find out in the body, can make it to the front page because you're all such predictable, gullible little lemmings. Okay, so as I always say, I say in all these videos where there's always a person posting on these things saying, that's not a real story, that's not a real story, don't believe that, or whatever. It's like, okay, so what? If it's an outlandish story, who cares? Let's give them advice as if it was a real story, because if someone has a real outlandish story, are we just not going to give them feedback because we're just so hurt by the internet? And I hate posts like this mostly, and even got lots of upvotes, is the idea that's saying like, I'm so smart on the internet, you're just a predictable, gullible little lemming. Like, why are you shaming people for wanting to give advice and taking time out of their day to help somebody else out? Maybe they're being taken advantage of, maybe they're not, but there's literally nothing in it for them other than trying to be an online community like this. Like, Am I the Antagonist is about trying to help people not be antagonists and do the you know, the morally right thing, or maybe if it's the justifiable thing, they still want to like correct it because they want to love their family member, whatever it may be. And you have to sit here and say, nope, nobody help nobody, no, stop it, like, I'm smarter than you, let me help. Like, F you, buddy. Like, you're not helping anything. You're not doing anything. This is a net negative on the thread overall. That's why I say I like the Decoy Court pond, the post here, because we can all have, like, I don't think I've ever seen in my posts, that's a fake story, don't help them out. It's just people like, hey, look, whatever, fake or real, let's treat it as real. So maybe people can take a lesson home from it. Even if I'm not exactly in the situation, if I do come across a situation later on, seeing all these different points of opinion and perspectives, I can be a better person overall when I'm trying to, like, you know, approach my friends. But let's go ahead and read one more controversial reply, which is, leaning on no antagonist here. You're worried for your friend and you guys are young and stupid. When your friend ends up being used for his money and she breaks up with him, try to be there for him. He's probably gone completely brain dead right now due to the attention of pretty girl. If your description of him is accurate, he will believe her over you in a heartbeat and will end up refusing to see anything wrong. So this is from the perspective that she's indeed a gold digger, even though we haven't really seen any evidence of the actual gold digging in the post, and if it was real, it would probably be mentioned. So it's like, it got controversial because it's not really applicable to the thread, but I do like the idea that he had a different perspective on saying, like, hey, you are trying to protect your friend. Hey, this is actually probably a good thing for you to be doing this. As wrong as it may be, I like that there's different opinions on the internet. That's why I like controversial comments, because you get to see people from different walks of life. And maybe he has a very particular situation where he said, you're young and stupid, your first loves will walk away from you. Maybe he saw that and maybe that's what they want to hear because that's what's happening, but it's hard to say. But earn yourself that Decoy coin by giving me some feedback down below, letting me know what your personal thoughts are, and maybe you can change my mind with something. But as always, if you make it this far in the video, I appreciate you hanging out with me during the furlough. Subscribe down below with the notifications on, because sometimes you could be subscribed and never see my videos in your feed. Visit DecoyNoise.com if you'd like to apply to become a moderator for the Discord channel, or just give me feedback about the channel overall. But if nothing else, put this on autoplay and watch the next episode of Decoy Noise coming up next.